Hello, hello. I was sitting here going, like, literally just in the corner of the kitchen, going on a rant, talking about myself. I'm in that phase of my life where I'm trying to discover who I am. I'd always heard people say this, like, oh, I'm trying to discover who I am. And, you heard it, you listen to it, but it's never much, It never really means anything. Set this over here. Is there a glare? Because there's always a glare when I'm recording a video. It's very frustrating. But I was just sort of not going on a rant because I'm not complaining, but really just thinking about things and figuring it out and, coming to conclusions that I don't like to come to, but that I know are right. And I can see the other side of it. I can see how it might make the other person feel, and I can see what the other person might think after hearing something like this, but it doesn't really mean anything, because at the end of the day, you're your own person and I'm my own person, and there's something I know I'm genuinely trying to accomplish that I've been running away from for most of my life, most of my recent years that I've been running away from, and I need to confront this. I can't hide from it anymore, and because of that, I have to be 100% dedicated. I can't fuck around anymore. I can't waste my time. And because of that, I really don't have a lot of time on my hands anymore. So, one thing about my brother, and this is, I'm going to have to be very careful with the words that I use here. I'm speaking about my brother Philip. One thing about him is he likes to include other people. And that's not a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing whenever you really want to include that person, but that other person doesn't want to be included, and for good reason. And that's exactly what I'm about to explain. So let's say this, for example, and it isn't like this all the time. It's not 100% of the time. But it happens often enough that it will quite literally ruin my day, because I get so angry and frustrated because this is something that I've dealt with my entire life. So it's like you're putting me in this position that I've already been in a million different times. So all of that frustration and anger that's built up immediately rises. And I have to try and, and because of that, I'm not even thinking anymore. I'm not even saying the right things anymore. I just get frustrated and I'm just straight to the point. I don't explain, straight to the point. No, I don't want to do it. No, bro, stop fucking asking me. Okay? And that's normally not how I act at all. But to explain, like this, for example, first I'll explain how much time I have in the day now. And a lot of this is going to sound stupid, and a lot of this is privileged, and I'm taking advantage of that privilege. So I go to work 9 hours a day, and sometimes I stay an hour later. I'd say like 30-40% of the time I'll stay an hour later. A couple of days ago I stayed 2 hours later. I just had a lot to do. That was an 11-hour day. But basically, to explain, I wake up and let's just say I have 2 hours in the morning, which typically is less. And if I'm taking the dog to doggy daycare, it's a lot less. It's more like 30 minutes to an hour in the morning. And then let's say we take the dog to doggy daycare and then go to work. But if not, we have a little bit more time in the morning. So then we'll just sort of basically get my energy good. I'm not tired. Make breakfast if I have to, if I feel hungry. Take a shower, listen to some music, just get the brain awake and think about the day and how I want to do. And just basically get myself pumped, in a sense, to get myself in the right mindset to actually do a good job, instead of going in there like, oh, another day, fucking. I'm going in there like, all right, well, I'm ready to get some shit done. What do you want me to do? Got it, done. Next thing, got it, done. That's the attitude I've kind of been trained to have, because all of my jobs have been very like high-paced environments where you just don't have a choice. And this has been the only job where, honestly, if you wanted to be slow as fuck and be mediocre, they wouldn't blame you. Like, they're still going to pay you just as much. Like, I'm working a lot harder for the same pay, and some would say that that's stupid. But I'm not going to sell myself short. I know I'm capable of doing more, so I will do more. There's no sense in slowing myself down and then complaining about how I have to speed up a little bit. Why don't I just always go fast and get used to it? So that's how my day will start, going to work, and that's 9 hours. So now we're at, let's just say 2 hours in the morning, and at the end we'll give or take 2 hours in the morning, 9 hours at work, 11 hours total. And then after that, I come home, I pray, recount the day, and then after that, I'll do vocal warm-ups and practice singing, rapping, be a lot more conscious on diaphragmatic breathing, like have more intent and purpose in what I'm doing. All of this lasts about an hour and a half. I also train as well, like I'll stretch anything that just sort of feels weird or off. I'll confront it while I'm doing all of this, just because it's like my opportunity to. And then after that, I'll turn on the YouTube videos, which you've been seeing, and then I'll just sit there and train, basically. And I've been doing this for about 3-4 weeks, and I just recently started recording it. I was like, while I'm sitting here and doing this, I might as well just turn on a camera so I have something to fucking do while I'm doing this, because just doing it, listening to music or watching a video is number one, it's uncomfortable because now you're forced to look at something when you're just trying to stretch, when instead you could stretch, talk, and that's your purpose, and you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You can look wherever the fuck you want to look. You're not forced. You're not constrained, bound to something. And then that's like another hour and a half of my day. I would say, let's just say an hour. So we have our 2 hours in the morning, which is just focused on getting my mind straight. And this is basic what I do in the morning. Just to backtrack too, I will again listen to music, practice my singing, diaphragmatic breathing, and then I'll also ask questions that have been on my mind to ChatGPT, or questions that I've dealt with my entire life, questions that I've never been able to ask anybody. I'll ask ChatGPT and have it explain, have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen anybody else with this before? What am I? Who am I? And I'm not asking I'm not asking artificial intelligence to tell me who I am. I'm trying to figure out who I am, but I'm asking questions, and I'm just saying, give me an example of who else is like that. Like, if you had to compare me to somebody, since you know everything, where would you put me? Who would you put me with? Where have you seen this before? Because I know I'm not 100% unique. Other people have experienced this. There's no way I'm the only person who's experienced this. So I'll ask questions like that. And so let's just say 2 hours in the morning, 9 hours at work, that's 11 hours. And then to pray, recount the day, vocal warm-ups, training, let's just say another hour and a half. I've started to really go crazy with the singing, really just practicing that. So that's, 9, 10 and a half, 12 and a half hours, and then another hour and a half for training. That leaves me 2 hours left in the day. Take another hour away because now I have to eat and, watch YouTube, wind down. And that's, let's just say we have 2 hours left to eat, wind down, and go to sleep and wake up to start the new day. Because that gets us to 16 hours, 8 hours of sleep. There you go. So because of that, I really don't have time genuinely to, do X, Y, and Z, because I'm already doing so much that it's like, since I have very little time to just do whatever I want, it's not me focusing on something and, trying to get better at something. I don't want to do more. I don't have time to do more. That takes away from my 2 hours that I have left in the day. Now, if you want to plan something and do something, then yes, we can. Give me a day and I'll see a time that works out. But just this, hey, help me out with this real quick, and that's how my brother is, where it's like, he's doing something, he wants to include other people. He doesn't like doing things by himself. Not many people do. I don't blame you. But I don't have time. And then I get frustrated because I've already said this before. I've already told you no. And then it really gets worse whenever he drinks, which is why I no longer want to be around him when he drinks, because he'll ask me something and then it's like I'm bothered because, trust me, I wish I could do it with you, but I don't have the time. I hate that I have to say no. And now you're asking me 30 seconds to a minute later and you're making me do something that I regret that I have to do. I don't want to do this. And not only do I not want to do it, it's because it's not really important. It's you can do it by yourself. In fact, you could have had it done by now. It's not even an exaggeration. You could have had it done by now. And just leave me alone. You know, stop making me say no. I don't like to say no. My personality is I love to say yes. Give me the opportunity. Yes, yes, yes. I don't like to say no. And now you're making me say no, no, no. And this is the most I've said no all fucking week. All week, bro. And I am now extremely pissed off. And fuck, dude. But I just have a feeling that that's because he's moving back in, and that's going to start happening a lot more. And I'm just worried, man, to be honest, because I don't think I can explain this to him and have him not get angry and have him not say you're making it a bigger deal than it actually is. And I'm not making it a bigger deal than it actually is. You just don't understand. And that's what it means to be me. You don't understand. And that's fine. I don't mind if you don't understand. But, I mean, I do. But I can ignore it with most people. But, fuck, dude. When it's something that causes a reoccurring problem and it's not something that can be fixed, and it involves one of the things that really irks me the most, which is being misunderstood. Oh, brother. It can cause a little bit of stress. Let's just say that. So, I'm just worried. I really don't know. We're switching to, just to change topics, we're switching to night shifts here at work. So we're working 1 to 10. It's 11:35 right now. We're about to make us some breakfast, even though it's 11:35. Just get that first meal in. I really don't have shit. I just have the rest of this bacon. I got, like 6 slices? Yeah. So we're just going to eat the rest of that. Normally I don't record videos in the morning, but I just, went through, that whole talk in my head. And I like to record these things. I like to, make it real. So I figured I would just repeat myself. But that's really all it is. And that's the worst part about this, is because I feel like, I'm scared if he were to watch this video, it would sound like an attack. It would sound like I'm coming after you. And that's not what this is. It's just my experience in it all. That's it. I'm allowed to say this because I'm just as real as you. I just hate it, bro. It just hurts. It really does. And there ain't shit you can do about it. You just kind of got to shut up and take it, pretend like it's not there, because you can't change it. When it has to do with me, I can change it just like that. But with other people, I mean, that's where shit really starts to get complicated. At least whenever it comes to family. When it comes to friends, you choose who you surround yourself with, so it leans back on you. It's your fault. Same thing with your significant other. If you have a reoccurring problem with your significant other where you're always getting into arguments or X and Y is always happening, that is your fault. You chose her. You should have been able to see the signs. And I understand, we're at 9%. I understand not everybody can see those signs. So I guess it's not your fault. But if you're good with people and you can read people, or at least if you just saw the red flags and ignored them and continued anyways, then yeah, that's your fault. You don't have the right to get angry at her at all. You chose this, bro. You can't shoot yourself in the foot and then go, God damn it, dude. Why did you do this? Yeah, shut the fuck up. What the fuck? What the hell? This is a real gun, bro. That ain't a pellet gun, man. You shouldn't have... I mean, it's not a good analogy, but you understand what I'm trying to say, and that's the whole point. So I'm going to hopefully be able to go into work early today. I have a lot of energy. That rap song that I was talking about last night, YSIV, Young Sinatra the Fourth by Logic. Fantastic song. And now that I've listened to it a little bit more, I can tell logic wasn't looking deep enough in that message. And I believe that he wasn't looking deep enough in that he didn't have, I mean, how's the right way to word this? Looking deep enough just sounds dumb. Even though you can understand it, it just doesn't sound right. Logic didn't understand the gravity of what he was speaking about. And I don't think he understood it because, in a sense, he can't understand it because he doesn't believe. I thought he was religious just based off of what he was speaking about and some coincidences that I saw in the song, but I looked it up and he's agnostic. He doesn't believe. So, because of that, I really do genuinely believe that he missed the next layer in his own song, and that is about the devil, which is why I say he doesn't understand because he doesn't believe. But how, the world revolves around me, the law revolves around me, blood stains on my face when drug deals go wrong. I am money, I am power, I am always relevant, I will always exist. That's not money. That's not power. It's not currency. It's not. That's the devil. Because people say that money is the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil? I guess, yeah. Money is the root of all evil, but money in and of itself isn't inherently evil. That we know to be true. Because you can do good things with money. And there are people who do and only do good things with money. So what does that mean? That in and of itself disproves what you're talking about. I mean, at least the notion that it always is, right? That it's always evil. So since you've disproven that it's always evil, where's the next step that you go from that? Genuinely, where do you go from that? And I believe that, hold on, piece of hair was getting in my eye. I gotta get a haircut again. Now I have to get back on topic. That was also me trying to procrastinate because I didn't know where I was going next, and now I'm just stuck. But where do you go after that? After realizing that it's not money that's inherently evil, it's the people that use it. But what is evil? Because money is the root of all evil, or something like that. Money is the root of all. Money is the source of all evil. Money is the root of all evil. I'm trying to remember. Let's just say that money is the root of all evil, but money in and of itself isn't inherently evil. It's the people that use the money. It's the people that use the guns to kill people. They are the ones that evil. It isn't the gun that's deadly. It's the gun that's in the wrong hands that's deadly, which is, a direct comparison. That's an excellent analogy. It's the devil. And the reason why it's the devil is because the devil is greed. The devil is power. The devil is selfishness. He is the lie. Because Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. For the devil, just by definition, because obviously he wouldn't have anything that associates with Jesus or God, would be logically, there you go, logic, the direct polar opposite of the way, the truth, the life. So he wouldn't be the way. He would be the distraction, the thing that prevents you from getting to your destination. He wouldn't be the truth. He would be the lie, which again prevents you from getting to your destination and prevents you from reaching your higher purpose. And he wouldn't be the life. He would be what destroys it, which again is exactly what evil does. Evil destroys. It doesn't create. And if it does create, it creates for the sole purpose of destroying. Okay? Which is like the highest form you can reach of destruction, creating just to destroy. And I'm not saying building a tower just to tear it all down. That is beautiful. But I'm talking about building something up to destroy everybody else's. You know what I mean. I don't know any real world examples, but you understand. And that's what I believe that he missed. The money's not evil. That's not what the riddle is. The answer to the riddle isn't money. It's the devil. You're only talking about money, but you're talking about how it can be negatively used, and that is the devil. And if you're not somebody who believes in God, you can at least, and this is how I came to become closer with God. I didn't believe in God. But in a way, I knew he was real. I knew that something was out there and that something was real because the devil was real. And I could see the devil everywhere. And because that's how my brain is wired to think. It's a whole lot easier to figure out what not to do than it is what to do. And by thinking that way, you can align yourself to, over time, push yourself in the right direction. Right? So, this is why I would like to have a conversation with Logic if possible. Like, honestly, I would love to, because I would love to talk to him about this. Because sometimes you may talk as if you know things, and you do know, but even still, there might be a level above that. And that's the level where everybody should hope to be at. You never want to stay where you're at. You should always look for that step above. Because if not, then what's the point? You're just sort of floating around. But that's what I think about the song. I think that that song is the devil. Not the song. I think it's a beautiful message because I cried to that song. Literally. Whenever he goes, the world revolves around me, the law revolves around me, the shit that people do for me astound me. Something like that. It was at that part specifically where it's just like, fuck, man. You know, because I'm crying because it's the truth. And you can't run from that. Like, it's the truth. And you don't want to admit it, but fuck, dude. The world really does revolve around him. The law really does revolve around him. And the shit that people do for him really do astound me. And it's just sad, you know? Because there's so much more to life than that. Can't you feel it? You should be able to feel it in your heart. Listen to your soul. You should be able to feel it. It's hard to describe the feeling, but it's real. And you can pay attention to it. And learn from it and let it guide you. I want people to know I am religious. You know, I am religious, but I don't go to church. I've found that I have progressed a lot more on my path and my journey by myself and really just trying to figure things out and what it all means for myself. And then staying disciplined for that purpose, you know, for God. Not going to church and reciting lines and singing and dancing and feeling all the energy and, hey, how are you doing, to say, yes, ma'am, God bless you. You know, I feel like a lot of that stuff is just pretending and putting on a show. And I'm a pastor's child. I was raised in that environment. But I can tell you one thing. I know my dad believed it. I can't, looking back on it, I always thought it was funny and I like to make fun of him, but holy shit. I remember him preaching, and like to the point where number one, he would have a rag, and number two, like his face would get red. You would see his veins start to pop, and he would just like yell, like he was feeling what he was saying. I made fun of it back then, but looking back now, that's real. Now my dad's no longer a pastor, and my parents did get divorced, and my dad doesn't believe anymore, and I don't blame him. Because after hearing how he was raised and how these ideas were forced, and it wasn't like you had a choice. It was like, this is just the way. This is how it's going to be. And, you know, not giving people a choice, that's like really the biggest thing. And because you have to let people figure themselves out. At least sometimes. Sometimes, you know, you can lead them and be a good role model, and they'll follow your shoes because they want to follow your shoes. They look up to you. But sometimes you just can't force it. You can't. And I feel like that's a lot like how this family works, because we aren't stupid. I mean, some of us may not be the smartest, but I can promise you we're not stupid. I feel like my phone's going to die 4%. We're not stupid. So because of that, you know, it's a whole lot harder to force somebody who isn't stupid and only has time to think to try and live a life that they don't want to live. They're just going to end up fighting back twice as hard as you're pushing, you know? So you want to push? Okay, well, guess what? I can do the same thing. And then you end up doing the worst possible thing possible, like just out of spite, you know? I believe that's what happened to my uncle. Just my own personal belief. But got that grease up in there. Bacon's ready. About to wash the dishes. The dishes. Yes, sir. The world revolves around me. The shit that people do for me astound me. I gotta clean the dishes. It's from last night, the wings that I had. Those wings were good, bro, but fuck me, I should have put a tinfoil sheet on them. Oh, this is easy to clean. It doesn't even matter. First, get a little scrub of everything with a little bit of water. And basically no water. Making sure you cover every part of the dish with that scrape, right? Now we're going to get the middle since we've gotten the edges. Right, now make sure to get the tops. And then you turn the water back on. It's just a cleaner way to do it. You're not scrubbing it while all the water's on it. Right? And now you can see there's a little bit of grease and shit left. This is the point where you would get your dish towel. If you're a dishwasher, I used to be a dishwasher, and you've got like one of those industrial, really you just have a nice ass dishwasher, you'll throw this bitch right in there and it'll come out squeaky clean. But at the house, things aren't really that simple. So you gotta wipe it off with your little washcloth. And you always want to save the washcloth for the final steps. You don't use it to get shit off of it. In the end, you get left with a pan that is good to go into the dishwasher. But yeah, you don't use the washcloth to like actually clean the gunk off, because then immediately your washcloth, which is supposed to do the final touches and be clean for the final touches, is destroyed. That is a mistake I see a lot of people make. It's like, that's not the purpose of why that was created. Alright, I'm going to wash this off real quick. I forgot I have to take the trash out. They might have already come. If so, that's bad because I missed it last week too. I just lose track of the days, man. I'm so busy focused on doing X, Y, and Z that's like I just even forget that, you know. Okay. This one's going to be good. There's no point even really 1, 2. Okay, you're pretty much good. You're done. You're done too. Well, it looks like there's a little bit of oil in it. Well, yeah. No, there's no oil on it. I'm tripping. That water out, washcloth, buzz, and we'll just put this back on the damn thing. We'll get this. Just really make sure it's clean, because you know you can't put it in the dishwasher. You know what I mean? And then you want to put some oil on it afterwards to give it a layer of protection. Okay. And then we got a couple things in here left to clean. Done. All this gunk, put it into this little thing in the center, which is supposed to catch the gunk, pick it up, get something to carry it over to here without making a mess. Very simple from start to finish. Phone fell, sorry. The shit that people do for me astound me. Okay. The most annoying thing to clean is a dishwasher. Ladles. There's a trick to it. It's hard to explain, but it's all about the angle and sometimes about the water pressure. But them bitches, whatever you put into it, it'll come right back at you. Let's just say that. Very, very fun experience. You know, especially washing dishes with glasses. You know, at least you got eye protection, but now your glasses are fucking disgusting. So, yeah, there's that. The world revolves around me, the law revolves around me, the shit that people do for me astound me. Through. Alright, well, I'm gonna eat. Dishes are clean, so I'm about to put all this shit up. The sink looks like fucking garbage. Garbage. But I know my phone's about to die. I'm gonna guess that it's at 2%. 1%. Yeah. Alright, well, take it easy. I'm about to put this bitch on a charger. Upload this video. Take out the trash. We'll take out the trash first, just in case. I think I already missed it, though. Alright. Anyways, have a nice day. I'm about to do all the shit I need to do, head into work, and then come back, and you may hear from me later tonight, or I may just take a break because I've had like no time. But other than that, take it easy. Later.